if I don't put myself delicately inside a father this episode, I quit. I quit screenplay.
There's part of me that wants us to bang a dad.
Yeah, what's the other part of you?
The other part of me doesn't want this to end.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready for it to end.
But okay, so there's two ways this can go.
Yeah.
We have to complete 3 dates before we can then go on another, like...
Oh, you're saying hypothetically. You don't know this. Yeah, okay, yep.
We go on 3 dates, and then there's a separate...
Sex date.
Yeah. Or third date, we bang the dad.
It's got to be end of the third date. It's got to be end of the third
But
date.
we haven't even kissed yet.
That we just go all in.
Like, we haven't... Like, I think we have touched hands, maybe? Like,
grazed like that.
Yeah, or like a reassuring, like...
Oh yeah, in the
thank you
cinema.
for helping me with...
Where he got scared.
Oh yeah, when he got scared.
Yeah. You know what just struck me looking at the title screen? Joseph, our minister friend.
Joseph.
He's married.
Yeah.
So what happens if we date him?
Well, I think that's to fulfill the, like, infidelity fantasy.
Interesting.
That's why they've painted the wife to be such a horrible person, because how awful would it be if she was really lovely and they were heaps in love and their family was beautiful.
Yeah,
but they've painted her as a negligent mother and an alcoholic.
Yeah.
So you don't feel bad about
That's true.
pulling him away from that,
That's
right?
True. You're probably doing a net good to his family.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Well, it's been a long day.
It certainly has.
I'm just about ready to pack it in after a few bites of ice cream from the freezer. I turn off the lights and walk down the hall to my room. Wonder if Amanda's still awake. That kid needs some sleep. As I pass her room, I hear a faint sound, but I can't quite make out what it is. I get a little closer. Is she crying? I knock gently on the door. Hey, Amanda. The crying immediately stops.
Not right now.
Her voice sounds strained. She sniffles. I need to make sure she's okay.
Oh, because we suspected she was potentially having boy trouble in the last episode.
Ooh, did we? I can't remember that far back. Let's say yes. Oh, look at the little face. In the dark, I could see Amanda's outline in the middle of her bed, knees hugged up against her body. Is everything okay?
I don't want to talk about it.
Were you laughing or crying?
A bit of both.
Did something happen? Leave her alone. Did something happen?
Yeah, for sure.
You don't take the...
Show a bit of concern.
I don't want to talk about it. That's the opening salvo in this conversation. Did something happen?
No, nothing happened. Go away.
Amanda.
Get out!
Oh, God. Okay. I quickly leave her room and shut the door behind me. Once the door closes, I can hear her crying again.
Oh, classic moody teenager.
Yeah. Is this you to a T?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Wow. I like that he goes to his room. He's like, that chick's nuts. What has her so upset? She seemed fine earlier. Do you reckon she's concerned because it's like, you're not my real dad thing's coming up with the dad that we're dating?
Oh, no.
Like worried replacing mum?
No, I don't think so.
No, you don't think so?
I haven't got that vibe from her at all. I think she's got her own thing going on.
She's pretty mature. She's usually so open with me. Did I do something wrong? Is she mad at me? I guess if she wasn't before, she definitely is now. I can't even remember the last time she snapped at me like that. I have a hard time falling asleep, and when I finally do, I'm still thinking about Amanda. After a very long night of little sleep, I roll out of bed and make myself a pot of coffee. Amanda should be up for school soon. Maybe she'll be willing to talk about whatever's bothering her.
I bet she's already gone.
Oh, there she is! Look how grumpy she is! About 10 minutes before she's supposed to leave, Amanda comes out of her room and makes a beeline for the freezer. Morning, Amanda.
Morning.
She drops a frozen waffle into the toaster and slams the freezer door. She won't look at me. Yikes. So, anything big going on at school today?
No.
Okay. Do you need a ride to school?
No.
Want some coffee? Amanda pulls the toaster lever up and takes her still freezer-burned waffle out before it's finished cooking.
I have to go.
Amanda picks up the bag and storms out. What happened? This is not boy trouble. She's angry at us. Right?
What did we do? We had, like, the last interaction we had was awesome.
Maybe because we haven't sexed enough dads. Do you reckon she's upset about that?
Quite probably.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen her act like this in a long time.
You can't look concerned or worried with those ridiculous eyes,
So true.
Nick.
That's so true.
It's
That's so
like,
true.
I hope she's okay.
Oh, it's so true. The man has no range. I haven't seen her act like this in a long time. It's usually short-lived, but it always hurts. Hopefully this blows over and things back to normal soon. Just growing pains. Maybe she's just in pain because she's growing up. Her bones.
Could have got a period.
Oh, do you reckon?
I feel like it's something to cry over, though.
Also,
I mean, everyone's different.
But also, but she's older. She's about to go to college. So she's...
Okay, so she's probably, yeah, okay.
It wouldn't be her first one, and he said that she only acts like this every now and then, unless he means once a month.
You're right, there would be a late time to get your period.
It would be very...
But everyone's different, so we don't.
Everyone's different, who knows? I still haven't got mine. I sit back at the kitchen table and look at a picture of Amanda and I hanging on the wall. In it, I'm teaching her to ride a bike. Her face is a mixture of excitement and pure, unadulterated fear. I remember how determined she was.
Could it be like the anniversary of the death of the
Have we forgotten the anniversary because we're so invested in the fathers?
Which she's been totally involved in as well. Anyway, we'll find out, I guess.
Every time she would fall off and scrape her knee, she would get up and try again. Finally, I had to stop her because she was bleeding everywhere. Then she started to cry because she didn't think she needed bandages and wanted to keep trying.
What a trooper.
As I put the bike away, she just stood in the middle of the street and screamed. Then I took her for ice cream and it was like nothing even happened. After giving it a bit of thought, I decided that if I force her to talk about it, I'm only going to make things worse. But I have an idea. I'm going to force her to talk about it secretly. I start rummaging around for ingredients. Oh, he's making burritos? So I'm guessing this is the afternoon. So he's just been cooking all day.
Yeah.
I hear Amanda walk in the door. Instead of heading for the kitchen like she usually does, she makes a beeline to her room. She's clearly trying to avoid me. Hey, Pumpkin.
What?
Can you come here for a sec? There's a moment of silence.
Yeah.
I want to say sorry about last night. I'm just worried about you, kiddo. I get scared when I know something's wrong, and I get even more scared when I feel like I can't do anything about it.
Dad,
So whatever it is, and you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but whatever it is, just know that you have a dad in your corner who always wants you to be happy. Honey, you know I'm bad with words, so I was hoping I could speak a language we both understand. I pull the cake out of the refrigerator and place it on the table. Hopefully the frosting is set by now. Ta-da!
Dad.
I just found out I'm allergic to cake. That's why I'm so upset. It took me a really long time because I ran out of red frosting somewhere around sad and had to start over. Sorry you're sad, but I support you 100%.
That's adorable.
That's good dadding. That's such good dadding.
This is beautiful.
It's strawberry. Mandy gives me a big ol' hug. I grab some plates and forks and serve us up some delicious cake.
So, it's really stupid.
What is?
This whole thing. I know I've been really weird lately, and there's just... I don't even know how to explain it. I feel like I might have to make you a chart.
Classic teenagers. Just making charts to explain their emotions. I'm listening. Do you want me to take notes?
I guess I should start from the top. So, you know how Emma R's going to that fancy art school in California, right?
Emma R. Which one's that? The one who puked in Dead Gotham Beyond, the best friend, the other one. Shit. We have to pretend like we know about her daughter and her interests.
The best friend? Was it Emma? Was she the...
The best friend?
You got it!
Hey!
Wow. Proud of you.
Nailed it.
That was a total stab in the dark. Anyways, ever since she got the acceptance letter, I've been feeling like she's drifting away, you know? She's been spending a lot more time with Grace and Emma P, and I just thought it was all in my head for a while, but then I found out from Rosie M that both of the Emmas, Grace and Noah, all went to a party at Mackenzie F's in the same night, and they all told me that they were busy studying for the Calc AB final.
So she's upset she didn't get to go to the party with the friends.
Well, she wasn't invited.
She wasn't invited.
To the party.
Yeah, didn't get to go. You're right. Not invited. Yikes.
So, another important piece of information is... Oh, God, this is embarrassing. I have a crush on Noah, and that's a thing.
What? What? I had no idea. I mean, I definitely didn't know that. Okay.
You're a bad liar.
So are you?
I learned from the worst. Anyway, so the only person I told about the crush was Emma R, and she promised not to tell anybody. I didn't confront them about the party thing because I didn't want to start a drama, so I just kept quiet and then gonna keep going about my business.
Amanda sighs.
And then one day I invite everybody to go out and get nachos at the mall, and after not texting me back for like 2 hours, even though none of them ever put their phones down for more than 60 seconds, they're busy, like simultaneously.
Oh no.
So I tell them, never mind, I'll just eat nachos at home, right? But we were out of chips and I really wanted nachos.
Oh my God. I did totally understand them.
So I go to the mall. Anyway, I get to the food court, and who do I see there but Grace, Emma P, Emma R, and Noah all hanging out together and eating nachos. Without me.
What?
It gets better. I'm standing by the escalators watching them, and then I realize that Noah has his arm around Emma R, which is kind of weird, right? But then they kiss.
Judas! No.
Yes, I know. So I storm over there, and I'm like, hey. And Grace drops a nacho on her shirt because of course she does, and then Emma R just glares at me.
Grace. Nothing's coming up. I don't know who that is. Grace is the...
Gus.
Did she poop the bed too?
No, Dad, please stick with me.
Sorry.
Grace is the one that nobody likes. Or I guess that's me now. But anyway, nobody will say anything, and I'm just like, you guys suck, which I realize is not the most eloquent thing to say, but I was very angry and really embarrassed, and I just wanted to get out of there. So I left, without nachos, might I add, which only further contributed to this shitty day, and I immediately drafted a super long text to the group chat asking them why they've been so weird. And I wrote another one to Emma R asking how long the Noah thing's been going on, and sorry, I know that's a lot of you still following.
I need that chart. What did Emma R say? I'm a little confused, but I think I understand. I have no idea what's happening. I'm getting into it. What did Emma R say?
Ooh, okay, get a load of this. Emma R says, you know what? Let me just read it to you.
Give it to me in her words. She's such a fucking asshole. Amanda pulls out a phone and reads word for word an arduously long string of text messages.
Classic. Can you believe that?
It's unbelievable. It cannot be believed. I care so much about Amanda's social life and mental well-being, but man, I do not understand what she's talking about. This is all beyond me, but I'm trying my hardest to be supportive.
They were dating in secret for like months. So I told her that she's just being a really terrible friend, and she's like, well, if you think I'm so terrible, then just stop being my friend. And I was like, okay, and then she left me on...
Left me on read? Is that a thing?
Is that a thing in America that we don't have?
Yeah, just say it with conviction.
And then she left me on read.
I can't believe she did that. Wait. Left me on read? What's that?
Oh, like she saw my message and didn't reply. Oh, left me on read. Like she's seen it.
Right.
So it's the equivalent of seen.
Yeah, of seen, but we know that she saw it and she never replied. Oh, she's the worst. I don't know what read receipts are, but I'm just gonna nod and pretend like I understand. Gotcha.
So while all this is happening, I'm talking to Emma P about how mad I am because she's at least being kind of reasonable, and I'm venting to her about how pissed I am at everybody and stuff. And then out of nowhere, Noah texts me and is like, how could you say that about me? And I'm like, say what about you? And he tells me that Emma P sent screenshots of everything I told her to the group chat, and I got kicked out of it.
All right, I think you lost me at screenshots, but that definitely sounds bad.
There's so much more, but honestly, it's all just really stupid teenager stuff.
I mean, look, all of this has been really stupid teenager stuff.
The bottom line is that everybody dropped me, half of my grade hates me, and now I have no friends. Can I just say,
Please.
This is really nuanced.
By the way, I'm mid-click, so I'm just gonna hold it here like a dead man's trigger on a grenade. Go for it.
This is all really nuanced, like really well-written teenage drama. This is exactly the kind of thing that happens in high school.
Because it's silly, but it all feels real. Like it's the stuff that like feeling ousted and that sort of thing. You know, there's comedy in the fact that he doesn't know what she's talking about, but this is all shit that happens to you in school.
And when I think about like when I was in high school, people were only just starting to get mobile phones and stuff, and like ICQ was just a thing.
Oh,
It just become a thing.
Yeah.
If you don't know what ICQ is, it was an early messenger app.
It's like MSN Messenger.
Yeah.
You would spend the whole day talking to someone, and then you would go home that night and log on and continue talking.
But I remember all that stuff complicates things so much more because like you can obviously screenshot what people say, but also you don't have the tone or the emotion in people's voice, so things get misconstrued.
It's like Twitter.
Disaster.
Unclick. Amanda. I'm so sorry.
I almost expected it from everybody else, but Emma R's been there since Mom died, and I can't believe she would just stab me in the back like that. I'm not even that mad that she's dating Noah, I'm just upset that she lied to me about it for so long.
Amanda stabs at the remnants of her cake.
Okay, I take it back, I'm kinda mad she's dating Noah.
Noah does sound dreamy.
That bitch. Like, what did I do wrong? Why did everyone just suddenly decide that I'm not cool anymore? Why wasn't I enough? I just don't understand. And as mad as I am at everybody, like, I miss them, Dad.
Amanda looks so dejected, I almost can't take it. What can I possibly say to help?
Anyways, that's it. That's the whole sordid tale. Thanks for listening. And tune in next week for more hot gossip.
Classic Steph move. You're born in the wrong era. You should have been a showman, one of those people that plays like the 6 instruments at once.
Yep.
Yeah.
A one-man band, like the guy in Mary Poppins.
You could have been in Mary Poppins.
I know, it's pretty dumb.
It's not dumb. It's kind of dumb? No, it's not.
I feel like we need to be like
We're there.
sensitive.
We're there. We
at the
know.
moment, yeah.
We're dealing with all this shit as well. We're going through all sorts of relationship drama.
Totally. No, it's a stupid thing to be upset over.
Your heart is not stupid. Amanda, your feelings are real. Don't ever be mad at yourself for having feelings. Yes. Unless you've secretly been a robot who's been approximating human feelings this whole time.
Yeah, back to the banter.
Yeah, there we go.
Dad, if I was a robot, I would have transformed into a monster truck a long, long time ago.
But seriously, I know you probably don't want advice, but I feel like it's my duty as a dad to bestow upon you a few nuggets of fatherly wisdom. Okay.
This is a toughie. I feel like not all friendships last forever is a little bit nihilistic.
I think it's true, but it's like,
we don't want to push it to the point where it's like, yeah, give up on everything and life means nothing.
Yeah. Never develop emotional attachments to
Yeah,
anything,
that's not
because
right.
It's probably going to be gone.
And real friends don't do that. I would argue that, like, teenagers are not real people yet. So Emma R is probably not acting with malice. She's a confusing mess of hormones and feelings.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's the answer that I want to go for, but I don't want to encourage her to just be like ditching everyone necessarily. So maybe high school stuff.
But don't you feel like I did things to my friends when I was in school where it was like shitty, but it was just because I was sort of like confused or whatever then, and then like a couple of days later we'd be friends again, and it was like, but if their parents had gone, real friends don't do that, and then suddenly Ben never hung out with me again, I'd be like, oh right, okay, wow. My actions do have consequences. High school sucks. But then that's so surface level.
It is surface level.
Maybe it is real friends don't do that. Maybe it's real friends don't do that. Okay. I'm hoping that he adds nuance to this answer.
Me too.
Real friends don't do this. I would, maybe you should talk to her about it and see where she stands. And if she continues down this path, then you know that maybe you could be looking for what you need elsewhere.
Yeah, and ask her to like take a look at herself in the mirror and ask herself, what a real friend really is.
Thank you very much.
And if her behavior is concurrent with that.
And also, for the happiness of everyone, turn off read receipts. When you get older, you start realizing the sort of people you want to associate yourself with. Do you really want to surround yourself with people who would do something like that to their friend? It takes a lot of work to find and maintain meaningful friendships. It took me a long time to figure that out myself, and I wish I had learned it sooner. If the other person isn't putting the effort to show you how much they care, it's not worth it. You're not beholden to be their friend. Ultimately, I think this says way more about their character than it does about yours, because you're amazing, and if they can't see that, well, then that's just their problem.
Good advice. God. I'll keep that in mind.
Good, now eat the cake! I look down at the table. Did we just eat that whole cake?
Yes, we just ate that whole cake.
Okay, good talk. Manny gets up to go to her room. Before she closes the door, she turns around.
Hey, Pops.
Yes?
Thank you.
You're always welcome. Love you, Amanda.
I love you too, Dad.
Oh my God, the emotion! Okay, dad book.
Damian!
Oh, you know what they say about third dates? They get pretty serious. Are you sure this is your dream, Daddy?
Oh my gosh! They would not put that message if we weren't gonna bang.
Oh, 100%.
If this wasn't gonna be like a significant advancement in our relationship to the point where other dads would be like, these two are serious.
We can't.
Because I think that's what it's warning you against. It's like you have the opportunity to bang a whole bunch of dads in this game, but if you go on the third date with this guy, that's like
This is the end of Mass Effect 3, where it's like, are you sure you want to start this mission? Because this is it. There's no more turning back.
Are you sure you don't want to upgrade your gear one last time?
Also, everyone just saw that I'm actually wearing running shorts and no shoes.
From a previous segment, I like that you have shorts that have tights underneath the shorts.
Yeah.
Because like you want the security of the tights, but you don't want the exposure of having everyone see your butt in Lycra.
She gets it.
I am sure. Are we sure? Ever since we had that picnic in the graveyard, Damien and I have been spending a lot of time together.
Okay, so it's advancing us like forward in the story. It's like,
well, like 10 dates in.
We haven't just had 2 dates.
We go on nighttime strolls pretty regular. He was so impressed with the first letter I wrote him, he insisted we only communicate by post instead of through dad book. I initially protested, but once he gave me one of his old signet rings to use as a seal for my letters, I just couldn't say no.
A promise ring?
How exciting.
Hanging out with that goth dad again?
Please, Amanda, you know his name. It's Daddy. And yes.
Be honest with me here, Pops. Is he actually a vampire?
Mm-hmm.
I remember you inviting him to our household that one time, and I've seen The Lost Boys, and I honestly would have preferred trying to see if he could have walked through the threshold of our home under his own power.
Good call. Classic ribbon your future stepdad. Yes, Amanda, I have become Damien's familiar. I am compelled under his curse. Sorry, sweetie.
Turn into a bat. Go.
I don't think...
What's the point of being a vampire if you can't turn into a bat?
Well, okay, I'm off.
So. Are you taking the car, or are you flying off into the night on the leathery wings of a bat?
One of those. While I'm out, can you throw away the garlic bread that's in the freezer so I don't die? That'd be great.
I'm keeping that there as insurance. You understand, right?
That's my girl. All right, you little sex pot. Damien and I walk along the water's edge chatting. Damien's cloak. He hates it when people call it a cape. They already know what they love and hate. Damien's cloak flutters behind him in the breeze. This is going to seem like a silly question, but why do goths wear black?
Though he's not wearing any black. Oh, maybe the cloak is.
And his pants are black.
Oh yeah, and his hair's black. Okay, so he's wearing a lot of black.
Gothic subculture has always been associated with death, so it would make sense that the style surrounding it would be greatly influenced by mourning. Interestingly enough, though, it was in the Victorian era Queen Victoria herself.
What? Real?
This was a fact that I wanted to give.
Oh really? Oh, wait, don't. I won't read it, and you can give me the fact.
Okay. So, in the Victorian... Do you remember last time you asked what's the difference between Edwardian and Victorian?
Yeah, and I still don't believe that you knew the answer.
No, it's true. I mean, I do know the answer. So, in the Victorian era, Queen Victoria, who was married to her beloved Albert died, and she went on to live, like, some years after him.
Tragic.
And it was one of the few marriages in royal history that was truly a marriage of love. So when he died, she was, like, heaps devastated. And normally you would go into a period of mourning for, like, 6 months to a year or something if it was a big deal.
Yep.
She pretty much went into mourning and stayed in mourning until she died.
Right.
And she set the standard for all other women in the realm. So once Queen Victoria was like, this is how you mourn, it meant that in Victorian era, if anyone important to you or within your family died, you had to go into full mourning, which meant that you were all in black, you didn't wear any jewelry or embellishment or whatever. Then, and that was usually like a year or something, and then you could come out of it and you could go into like half mourning, which meant that you wore like mostly black and you could wear like a bit of black glitzy jewelry if you wanted to, but that's it. And then you go into like some other form of mourning, which means you can wear dark purple. And like, it was just
Plum.
for women who were like coming out into society and wanting to like start new dalliances with the boys, and then they had like a second cousin who died.
Yeah.
It meant that they had to wear black
So-
and no jewelry for like nearly 2 years before they could wear normal clothes again. So it was heaps annoying.
This is bullshit. So this is regardless of how you felt about them. It
Yeah.
was just there. Because she only felt like this because she loved her husband. If you didn't love your husband and he died, you'd want to be out of the town next day in something short.
Couldn't do it.
But it's like, no, because the queen liked this guy, then, oh, that's rough.
Same with the tiered wedding cake. That wasn't a thing until Queen Victoria's cake was like that, and now everyone has these like ridiculous huge cakes.
We still haven't gotten over it.
It was in the Victorian era that Queen Victoria herself mourned
Hey!
of her late
Hey,
Oh shit, sorry.
what?
Sorry.
What, David, you've been faking it the entire time?
Interestingly enough, though, that was that in the Victorian era, Queen Victoria herself mourned the death of her late husband for 10 whole years, wearing black for the rest of her life. If that's not goth, I don't know what is.
I have another question. How are you so comfortable with death? You mentioned in the graveyard that it helps you appreciate your life or something?
I have experienced several losses over the course of my life, and I truly believe the only manageable way to cope with it is to accept that death is simply a part of living. It is the single universal truth for every human who has ever lived. I am going to die, you are going to die, and life carries on without us.
Doesn't that make you feel scared?
Not at all. Without the advances of modern science, death was everywhere in the Victorian era, yet funerals were major social functions. Funerals were major social functions.
Yep.
But it was difficult to get people to attend. So, and I learned this on British Bake Off.
Oh, yeah. Wait, I've watched all of British Bake Off. I must know this, and I just can't remember.
They used to bake what were called funeral biscuits.
Yep.
That was a baking challenge on Great British Bake Off.
And that's how you'd get people to go, because it'd be like there'd be a sweet
You'd make a biscuit and then you'd wrap all the information about the funeral around the biscuit and deliver it to someone's house and be like, hey, please come, there's a sweetie in it for you.
Look, there's probably more where that came from.
Yeah, right.
That's great.
Victorians were obsessed with mementos of their loved ones, even going so far as to take elaborately staged photographs of their dead relatives.
Like Weekend at Bernie's. I learned that from Weekend at Bernie's.
Whoa. The minutiae of mourning was so complex that there were set periods of grieving that were deemed acceptable based on who in your life had passed. Now, we don't have any of that. If you lose someone, you end up feeling lost yourself because we have no modern equivalent of those formalities. We need to allow ourselves some time to grieve, to feel that loss fully, but not allow it to consume us. So, no, I am not afraid of death. I believe it is a waste of time to spend your life dreading the end of it. The time we have here is brief and fleeting, and occasionally cruel. But it is at all times precious. To stare death in the face and live in despite of that, I think, is a noble existence. Let's save the mourning for the dead. I was about to say this is going in a very seize the moment of passion.
Yes, right here. Do me on this yacht.
Because we could all be dead tomorrow.
Yeah, totally. Wow, that's beautiful. I can see the moonlight in the bay glint off Damien's eyes. He smiles.
We turn to the harbour and watch ships pass, breathing in the salty sea air. I look to Damien again and can't help but be entranced by his charm, his mystery. I find everything about him so fascinating. I lean in closer to Damien, closing my eyes as I do so. What? Oh, what?
I'm so sorry. I have to take this.
Damien steps away from me to answer his phone. Oh no, I hope it isn't Lucy again. What a shit kid. After speaking in hushed tones for a few moments, Damien returns to me. Everything okay?
What? How is this happening? How is this happening? This whole game is a troll. This whole game is a troll. Is it not? Is it not just like a constant, I mean, it's a tease is what it is.
What?
It's a tease.
I hope Lucian's dead. Lucian?
No, thankfully, but I must take my leave. Mysterious.
Oh, okay. Is there anything I can do to help?
Dads do have to stick together, right?
It's not an expression. You know it.
Then come. There isn't time to waste.
Oh, do you reckon it's all a ruse that he's actually going to take us back to like his bed and there's black rose petals everywhere?
Oh,
He's like, the emergency
that
is
would be cool.
in my pants. I'm too erect. It hurts. Oh God, why can't I just let two people love each other without...
What could the emergency be if it's not to do with this kid?
After a short drive in silence, we arrive at a rundown meeting on the outskirts of town. Where are we?
It's better if I just show you.
Told you. It's in his pants. I push the surprisingly heavy door open and find myself in a dim lit waiting room. A few rickety chairs line the walls and there doesn't seem to be anyone behind the front desk. There are a few paintings and pictures on the wall, but they're so nondescript I'm still unsure of what to think this place even is.
Wait here for a moment. I'll be right back.
Damien walks off down the corridor, his boot heels echoing through the halls.
Those are pet carriers.
Or are they little baby carriers?
This is an animal emergency
This
for
is
sure.
a pet. Did he have pets?
I don't think so, but I think we're about to find out that he does have one. If it's not Lucian, it's some animal.
If it's not a bat.
And this is just gonna make him more adorable.
That's right. Distant howls echo from some place I can't see, and there's a faint scratching sound like claws on tile. I cautiously peek down the hall and find stall after stall of scared-looking dogs. A few of them notice me and skitter up to the chain-link fence, sticking their noses through to sniff at the air. What have I gotten myself into? Well, I think you've gotten yourself into the pound. Suddenly the lights shut off. I panic, unsure of where I am or how I can get out. I stumble through the darkness, my breathing getting heavier and heavier. This is a bit. It's totally a bit. It's a bit. Damien! The lights finally turn back on. What?
This woman should not be looking after dogs.
And she should not be calling us sailor.
Hey, sailor.
Mary? What are you doing here?
You aren't here for the fight club.
I don't want to get punched in the face.
Great, because this is an animal shelter.
A what?
We take care of stray animals and then people adopt the stray animals. Didn't you see the pets when you walked in?
Sorry, I didn't really expect you to just be volunteering in an animal shelter. You drunk?
Wow. Okay, kid, way to put me in a box.
She is.
Just because I'm drunk all the time, jeez.
Yeah. Where's your baby, Mary?
Maybe this is it. Maybe she's like me. She cares for animals more than people.
Yeah, but you're right. I've always said that about
In which case I relate. Dames, you hear this baloney?
Dames.
Just one moment.
Thunder cracks and the door bursts open. Appearing from the shadows, they see...
It was in the Victorian era that Queen Victoria herself mourned of her late dozen.
Hey! What, Damien, you've been faking it the entire time? You've been faking it the entire time?
What is happening? What is happening?
I do not like, look at this face. This is not the face that I fell in love with. Okay, we're gonna have to leave it there because I need time to process how I feel about the lies.
Oh, you're fine with it.
The lies!
He hasn't lied. He's just withheld certain parts of his life that he was unsure of revealing in case you had this reaction right now, you shallow person.
We've been on multiple dates with this man and he's never actually told us that, I'm not a full-time goth. What if all I was looking for was a full-time goth?
Well, maybe we just didn't ask the right questions. Maybe we just were so focused on ourselves because we're horrendously self-indulgent that we didn't ask him what he does for a living.
Shit.